Alright, so this week you're having two videos. So this is your examples of congruence problems. So here you have two triangles, and the question says write a congruence statement. So the most difficult thing about congruence problems is recognizing what the corresponding angles and corresponding sides are. So the first thing that you need to do is you have to name one of your triangles. Now, generally, you name the first one in alphabetical order, but you don't have to. I'm going to name triangle ABC. Now, I need to say that it is congruent to the other triangle. So the first one that I named was A. Now, I see that A is the 60-degree angle, and it is between the tick marks that have 1 and 3. If you don't know what the tick marks mean, the tick marks mean that those are corresponding sides because they are equal. So this tick mark with 1 is congruent to this tick mark with 1 in the other triangle. This one with 2 is congruent to this one with 2. And this one with 3 is congruent to this one with 3. Now this can help you a lot with naming. I'm going to do this one and show you how to do it. So I've located that A is the 60-degree angle and it's between the 1 and the 3 tick marks. So I come over to the other triangle and I see that D is also a 60-degree angle and it's between the 1 and the 3 tick marks. So where I have A written, I'm now going to put D in my congruence statement. B is the 80-degree angle and it's between the 1 and 2 tick marks. So I come over here and I see that F is the 80-degree angle and it's between the 1 and the 2 tick marks, so F comes next. And then finally I've got E has to be the 40-degree angle between the 2 and 3 tick marks, so that one comes last. So that's my congruence statement. ABC is congruent to DFE. Now here's another problem that's a little bit more complicated. So if triangle ABC is reflected to create triangle DFE, and the measure of angle A is 32 degrees, and the measure of angle E is 30 degrees, what's the measure of angle F? Reflected is a key word here. We talked about this in the last video. If something is reflected, then we know that they're congruent. So right now, I know that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DFE. Just by that one word, reflected. Now, we're given angle measures, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here and I'm going to label all of my angle measures that they give me. So the measure of angle A is 32 degrees, so I'm going to put 32 degrees, and the measure of angle E is 30 degrees. What is the measure of angle F? So this is the one we're looking for. I'm going to call it X. Now, since we know that this is reflected, we know that the corresponding angles have to be congruent. So I'm going to come and I'm going to look and I'm going to say, okay, so if A is 32 degrees, what does that mean about angle D? We know that angle A and angle D are corresponding angles, so if A is 32 degrees, then D must be 32 degrees. Over here, if E is 30 degrees, then C is 30 degrees. At this point, you have enough information to figure out the question, what is the measure of angle F? Because we know how many degrees are in a triangle. So right now, if D is 32 degrees and E is 30 degrees, I'm going to use the calculator, and I'm going to do 32 plus 30, and that gives me 62. 180 minus 62 gives me 118. So the measure of angle F is 118 degrees. 118 degrees.